Oh, saw you last night, but did it broad day. Stevie fits like 80 racks on his Amaris. Me and Sally back to back. This shit is scary. If you fucking with GGP, don't come near me. It's about time for the conspiracy horseman running. Now you hear me. It's full strength tonight. Big Stevie Cool, Salallah, GGP, and Hacker Hameen live YouTube. HackerHameen.podbean.com. Infidels. YOLO. Yeah, man. Back in action. We are ready to go and kick ass, find the treasure, the pot of gold, the end of the rainbow. If you've been drinking all day and you're joining us live, I expect it to be live wired tonight in the chat here on YouTube. But live from the green zone himself, the aurora of Big Sally. He is here. How's it going tonight, Sally?
Oh, going well. And odd little fact, nothing in Ireland is open right now.
No.
St. Patrick's Day, that shit's closed down tight. No bars, nothing's open, man. They're all. It's the first day people garden in Ireland.
Really? Today is?
Yep.
And they're all shit-faced at home.
Oh, yeah, and they're all planting their fucking potatoes and going crazy.
Potato seeds. He's back in action from his trip down to Florida to see Uncle TK. He's been doing the taxes, getting his back broken by the man all day. Steve Areno, good to see you, pal.
So I said today, March 17th, I will get the taxes in early. And then I look and I see that they extended the fucking deadline to May 17th. I was like, okay, well, that was a big rush for nothing.
COVID, man. COVID.
I'm sure they're going to be so happy to get money sooner than expected. They always send it to me. You know, that's all right. I couldn't wait. I was watching TurboTax as it said, did you get a stimulus check? And I'm like, oh, here, this number at the top left-hand corner is going to go up. Federal returns.
Take that back.
It did. It's not a gift. It's a tax credit.
Yeah, man. And a credit to the service himself. It's Joey Legend's new best friend coming to the UK soon to an indie near you. GGP, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you.
Wow, deep cut, huh? Brings it back. Doing well, man. Doing well. It's been a shit day, but doing okay. I'm glad we're here now.
Yeah, man.
Therapy. I need the therapy.
Yeah, a little escapism tonight as we, wanted to shift gears. We'd have such awesome guests. Damian Sandow joining us on Master Shoot Theater this week on Russo Brand Patreon on the $3 tier. So a great time yesterday, making it maybe a little too real for him, Stevie, but the clip's doing well that way, man. And we had a lot of fun with it. And then after that to have Lord Jamar on and, just and just some people saying our best show ever, and we're excited about maybe even more hip-hop legends guests, as I just got word from our own El Plaza of something he's working on. And last week Joey Legend checking in from Germany, man. Just 3 great shows. But one thing that Stevie had brought up and we want to do is dispel conspiracies, and there's one that is very interesting that is right in our wheelhouse to talk about. But then right in January, it seemed like a whole new theory came out of it. So we're going to talk about Dyatlov Pass tonight. I want to say shout out to the chat room, Mike Roche with the super sticker, $10 out of the gate, man. Appreciate you, homie. But yeah, Stevie, you don't want to have to claim that. But what else is going on? We saw today very, very crazy, right in the mix of the conspiracy, Biden interview by Air Force Two as he's about to take off in a chopper. And there's green screen reflection on his coat. His hand cuts through a microphone that looks badly like Doom graphics for some reason, superimposed. There's 2 angles, but the second angle doesn't really solve the mystery of what is really going on there. Why would there be a green, and the top of his head kind of cut off too? I mean, you can blame it on reflection of his white hair in the sun, but I don't know, man. I was looking at it the way his pants wrinkled, being production guys and doing this kind of stuff. We look at this thing maybe with a more critical eye than what the Nancy Browns do. But this was the hot button little conspiracy of the day, Stevie. What are you thinking, bud?
Yeah, I think there's a 1A and 1B on that because I sent the Stephanopoulos interview and
Fucking Greeks.
The depth of field on both of them were completely different. When my wife looked at it just before we started streaming, and not only the fact that how many times have you seen an interview with a very, very blurred background where it looks like a Skype type thing, and it looks like they're so far apart, but then on the over Biden's shoulder, Stephanopoulos looks like he's right there, but on Biden, it looks like it was very strange. And the fact that outside of a conspiracy for technology, they edited that interview to make it look like he was answering so quickly, because by the end of the interview, and I don't know if you saw it popping on, they were on top of each other. Like it was literally like finishing each other's sentences with questions and answers. It was dude, we're living right. I was like, this was a mix between propaganda and deep fake shit, man. It's crazy.
Let me ask this question to you, Sally. Why? Why would they waste the time and do that? What's the why here?
That's what I had no idea. And my only thought being that they didn't want to get this frail old cunt around anybody who can get him sick. So they just keep him separated from everyone, especially because George Stephanopoulos was sucking his own fucking dick going, well, he hasn't given many interviews. And I asked him everything. I was with him, and he kept hammering that, like, I got this one. This is the one I got.
He's on the hard sell. That sent your antennas off, your spidey senses. Okay.
And then I was like, then they're making it sound like such a big deal that he interviewed the president. Dude, you've interviewed every fucking president. You're up their ass all the time. What do you care? But
he's Greek.
All right. So again, at this point, he's given him the fucking boyfriend experience, and now he wants to. He doesn't give him any interviews. He hasn't given many interviews since he started. But I got this with him, and I was face to face with him, and I got real personal with him, and I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm waiting to hear some kind of fucking bombshell drop because he built it up like it's huge.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but, again, Stevie, when I watched it, like he's saying, you're watching Joe Biden, who is fucking crisp as an apple. That guy's right there, and he's answering questions, boom, 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 boom. And then you turn around, and Stephanopoulos is 12 miles away, and he's blurry, like he has a Snapchat filter on him. And you're like, I don't get it. Now, let's go to the Mark side of this. Hang on. Gotta look, because I showed my wife the interview. I showed her the Air Force 2 thing, right? And I'm like, check this out. Look how weird this is. And she watched it, and she's like, and she's trying to listen to what he's saying. And I go, no. Ignore what the fuck he's saying. I go, just watch and tell me what you see is wrong. And she's watching, and she's like, what? She's not looking for it. Like, she had no idea. And then I pointed it out, and then the video actually points it out too. And then she's like, huh, that's weird. I'm like, that's weird? You don't think that's anything? Nothing? Why would they green screen? And it looked like the fucking Muppets. And the mics are doing this.
Furley.
Yeah, the mics are going like this, like, oh, we're jostling to get to talk to the president. We have to get our mics in front of him.
Mike jousting for a question.
They should be like, there's nothing. These shouldn't be moving. They should be steady. And even if it's a boom mic, that guy is there to hold it fucking perfect and still don't move, especially when the president's on screen. Not this, Mr. President, Mr. President. Two fucking furry dicks floating on the bottom of the screen.
Right. GGP, from the inside of the Greek bathhouses, what are they saying about this?
I don't know. If you really want an on the ground report, you should talk to Triple D about the Greek bathhouses. Him and his Academy brothers are doing the fucking Vulcan Greek cheeseburger deluxe fucking death pinch. At the 2-minute mark, we saw the fucking green screen flash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you pause it around 2 minutes and we slow it down, grab a hold, we'll be good to go. Nice. Tremendous.
Oh, please have Air Force One behind you. What a fucking turd.
Not at the moment.
You stupid puppet.
We're able to share thoughts with other countries. Is it allies or neighbors first? Who will be the first country to get U.S. vaccine? I've been talking with several countries already. I'll let you know that very shortly.
Now there's a shot in there when he's walking away that it looks strange to me too, like it's a blurred,
like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And see now how fast he answered it.
The right hand over this
right there.
mic.
Right there.
Bruh.
I like this guy's video. So here's your second angle as we pause on
Travel
YouTube.
to the southern border, sir. Decided when you're able to share thoughts with other countries, is it allies or neighbors first? Who will be the first country to get U.S. vaccine?
All right,
that was the angle we were supposed to see.
Yeah. That background there where the sidewalk is feels phony to me, like there's an angled sound stage, but
yeah. Where he's supposed, because that's where it wasn't that angled
You know what I'm
walkway, that's
waiting
where Trump
for?
came out of. Remember when he went to go to the hospital?
Is for
This looks as real as his.
I'm waiting for Elon Musk's car to fly by in the background. That's what I'm so yeah, an interesting little piece of propaganda today, or is it digital distortion? Stevie, what are you thinking?
We might be looking at something that's on a level or more of what they did with FDR back in the day to try to hide him and present him as somebody that was healthy. I mean, are we talking about Biden like not even being around anymore? And what they're trying to do is just buy time?
Being Biden
going
time.
to extraordinary lengths just for a guy that might be here or there. Well,
and that's the thing. The rate that he answers back, the how fast he answers when this guy couldn't answer his fucking name, and now every question that is asked of him on TV is like, "Boom, I'm right here with it. I got it. Got you right here, man." As opposed to maybe if we superimposed it,
the thing.
Yeah, we play an audio. If we just play audio,
yeah,
and he already has the answer, all you have to do is come out, hit the mark where we tell you to, and then say these words, stupid. And he comes out, and he goes, and he says his little words, and he doesn't know what they asked him. He knows what he was told to say. End of story.
Did anybody see the South Park vaccine special?
No, not yet.
Not yet. I watched. I'll send it. I got it on my site, but it was pretty solid, man. Where I'm not going to stooge it off, but it pretty much puts everybody in the perspective of like, just selling for the vaccine now. And we got to talk about this one too before we get to Dyatlov Pass. Looking good, pal. Is, marvelous Marvin Hagler, passing on, like obviously an unbelievable athlete. I think he was 64 or 66. 66.
Oh, 66.
Yeah. And you can get 33% more coffee at thebroasters.com right now. I'm Russo Bro Coffee in the month of March with all online orders. But I think he was 66-4 and he had 56 knockouts. Like, dude, that's a lot of lights punched out there. But, we saw this with Hank Aaron, a more advanced age, gets the vaccine and passes away. And that's kind of like, well, all right, he's on the cusp in the high risk district. And then here it is with Marvin Hagler, and we saw Tommy Hitman Hearns post well wishes, he got the vaccine or whatever. And then right after Hagler's passes away within 24 hours, that post comes down off his Instagram, which was up there for 2 weeks prior. And Stevie, I think you were the one that, I'm not sure who sent it to you, but, through our Conspiracy Horsemen network of super spies that we have throughout the world. I mean, constantly checking in everywhere. I think you were the first to give the Iggy on that one.
Hartnett sent it to me, actually. I believe John Hartnett was the one that sent it to me.
Well, he still got big heat for the amount of bets he cost me by telling me to pick this chick who got choked or got slammed in her first. Like that. So
was it Rihanna?
No, it was De La Gabby or something like that. Damn you, Hart.
Sorry.
Get my $150 worth out of this fucking thing.
So Larry King also went down with the shot. You know what I'm saying? He also got it before he passed away.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, did he? Holy shit. Are you serious?
But here's the thing on today's Marvelous Marvin Hagler's wife, I see it trending as a top story on Twitter to like try and dispel and it's, who's going to go with the widow? Obviously nobody wants to. And it's like, she's like, only I know it was from natural causes. You don't know what was going on. And granted, maybe, advanced CTE and other things could, but to try and shut down the conversation, is to sell for it. GGP, like, does the like cover up on Twitter of in the open trying to dispel it without giving that answer, that true answer again of what it is, like respect my privacy and don't, but then I gotta say in the same thing, with it was kind of a Brody situation in that same response, you know what I mean? So it's always tough after somebody's passed, but the Hearns thing getting taken down from 2 weeks before is a big sell,
Agreed. Look, you said something 2 seconds ago about him being in the high rate. There is no high rate. According to the CDC, the mortality rate for people 70 years old and older is less than 1%. Now, these are CDC statistics. I'm not making this up. I mean, if we're gonna go by CDC standards and WHO standards to get our lights fucking knocked out by a shot and get scared the bejesus out of us because we're all gonna die, and then they come around and they tell us, hey guys, this is that. You got less than 1% for the kids, but they can't go to school. You got 0.5%, 0.54% chance of dying if you're over 70 years old with a shot. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. And then we have these other shots, whatever it's called, the Aztec.
AstraZeneca, so 11 countries in Europe and Thailand and
Africa
have banned it because of blood clots caused. We saw the New York thing, GGP, you sent the New York Post clipping of the young woman who had gotten it and passed from it pretty quickly. Now, are these propaganda pieces and what it is or what it isn't? But they tell you one thing, and then here's proof, in the first round of, is this going to hurt the sheep? And when it comes to the surface.
Listen, I've been talking to people nonstop about this who are like, you're not going to get the shot. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting the shot. And they're like, why wouldn't you? And I tell them, real simply put, this is a brand new disease. By the way, guys, happy anniversary to a 2-week to flatten the curve lockdown. Nice. A year ago today, it was supposed to be gone in 2 weeks, and it's a year later. Here we are. From the same people that told you you're going to die, told you it's only going to take 2 weeks, and here we are a year later. But anyway, I digress. So I'm telling these people, look, you have viruses nonstop, left and right, up and down, up, down, down, A, B, select, start. And what happens? They can't come up with a vaccine that works 95% of the time. The flu, the best that we've gotten out of the flu vaccine is about a 30% efficiency rate. Now we got something that we don't even know anything about. A brand new virus. You're telling me you're able to knock out the park a vaccine that has a 95% efficiency rate, but at the same time, it's not approved by the FDA. At the same time, you can't sue the pharmaceutical companies if something bad happens. So it's not bad. It is what it is. And people are like, oh, let me run and get it. Let me go get it. Look, man, I'm not condemning anyone who wants to get it. I've had this discussion. I've gotten into arguments with my brothers over this regarding my mother. And it's like running out and waiting online for 7 hours to get the new fucking iPhone overnight. And they get the new iPhone. And a week later, it's glitching out. 5 weeks later, they give you that new update, the iOS update to fix all the glitches. And someone just walked into the store in 20 minutes and got a new iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no long-term. We don't know the long-term effects because we don't have enough data. So how are you going to say it's a 95% efficiency rate? How are you going to, guarantee those results? We don't even know. That's logic, just common logic, just looking at everything from a 10,000 foot view and saying, hey, AB3 over here, XYZ over here. It just there's no correlation. How
Let me-
can you make that
Let me
analysis?
jump in because I'm going to forget this, and I want to just serve this up. And Sally, you can come in on this. GGP, you may have seen it because you and I are on Twitter more than these two are. But Sam Tripoli posted a woman at a podium and kind of giving this, I don't care what's in it. I don't give a shit. Just give me the stick in the arm. You saw that, GGP?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and he
by
goes,
even admitting, I'm sorry, Ben, even admitting I don't care what's in it, right then, right there, you're just giving away the gimmick. You're exposing the business right then and there. But anyway, go on.
And Sam Tripoli writes, white people love this cadence. They'll do anything for it. That's an interesting thing. Sam Tripoli since then, banned from Twitter, banned from YouTube, and the clip of that woman, very hard to find right now. I was looking for it earlier, dude. So
maybe he'll finally come on.
Yeah, maybe we can get him on.
We'll charge his ass now to come on. Where's the only outlet? We held out like we pulled a Stevie. We want money now. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Canno.com.
Here's the sell. Here's the sell by big, tech and censorship to crack down on. Damn, they caught us with our pants down trying to do some propaganda shit again, just like when we had Lord Jamar on and we talked about the Run DMC, piece. Here we are in the same thing, but a quick crackdown on their shitty propaganda push. Sally?
First of all, I just want to go back a little bit ways, and I since you said it's like a Brody thing, I keep thinking of Larry King getting shivved in the shower by an invader. I just keep thinking that over and over.
That's
so
it.
number two, I heard a woman say today, because somebody was talking to her about they got their second shot and their arm hurt. Their arm was very sore. The woman said, I don't care if my arm falls off. It's better than COVID.
Is it?
And I looked at her and I went, fair enough. And I just left it at that because I didn't have time. I didn't have time to tell her what a fucking idiot she was.
She thinks she's listening tonight or no?
Oh, I doubt it. I sincerely doubt that.
Think she can tune in with one arm? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would rather have my arm fall off.
Did she say which arm?
It was her left arm. And wait, she got it in her left arm in
Always
case it
work
got
the left.
sore. Yeah, and in case it got sore, it didn't affect her writing arm because she had to write things.
Gotcha.
So
she still wasn't willing to
she was expecting
sacrifice
it to get
fully.
sore.
She still wasn't willing to sacrifice. There was caveats to it.
But
It had to be the non-writing.
The
arm.
non-working arm. It's not her. It's not a ringer arm.
No, this is the working arm. Whatever. There's a doctor. I think I sent it to you guys. I'm retired. I think I sent it to you guys where this doctor was going through exactly like scientifically talking about, I believe the exact term is shock proteins. What the vaccine has in it are proteins to fight COVID. Now, this is just one strain of COVID, like one strain of flu, but also the shock proteins are the proteins. Let's just say I don't know exactly what their derivative is, but oh, good, you're the champion. So shove gimmick. You got the vaccine.
He wins. No arm pains.
Got the jab, and now he has Bob's Burgers with the women's title.
I don't know what fucking Armand's talking about.
So what he said was, we don't even know like when these proteins are going to stop reproducing. So basically, they're injecting the virus into you with these proteins, and they're injecting them and they're attaching at a cellular level, and they could just keep producing. So you could always have COVID with this vaccine. It might not shut off, and because it's our mRNA changing, there's no telling what it's going to try to stick to or how long it's going to be in your body, how it's going to mutate. Is it going to create a cancer? Is it going to do whatever it's going to do on your immune system? What effect?
3 years from now, did you get the first round of vaccines?
Yep.
Have you been suffering
No,
from that?
you won't, because there's no lawsuits.
Yeah, you can't get a lawsuit going.
There's no liability, no lawsuit, and that's been around since, I think, is that the polio vaccine that they put that in there, or was that the swine flu in 76 when they took the liability away from pharmaceutical companies?
I don't know. I wasn't alive in '76. Sorry, bud.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, JFK would still be alive too if it was my choice.
But listen, wasn't it one of the? Didn't we share an article? I think it was it CBS or USA Today or something like that, where one of was it Johnson & Johnson vaccine? Was it, or was it the Moderna one that shuts down the receptors that fight cancer in the body, so you're more susceptible to get cancer?
Moderna.
It was the Moderna one,
people
right?
who made chemo.
Yeah,
had that in there. Yeah, that was the one, I think.
Yep.
Ridiculous,
we are, man. Having to rely on South Park to make ironic jokes and to get it through to show just how, abused we have been for the last year when no flu reported. Come on. And this is what
let's ask you a quick question. I'll just pass it to you, Sal. How's South Park get away with it?
It's cartoons, man.
Still, man.
What are you talking
They've
about?
got away with so much.
But listen, they're banning cartoons left and right, but you can watch fucking Cardi B and this other chick.
Right.
During the Grammys, do what they got to do.
Bad Bunny comes out of a fucking eyeball. There's a black hole sun there, Sal. More Saturnalia. We're right back to the ritualistic indoctrination ceremonies with talentless artists. Even Jay-Z's 11-year-old daughter won a Grammy. Like, come on, dude. I mean,
listen, Jesus is coming to save us all. Let's just stick to the South Park stuff. Yes,
he didn't do too good last time.
Listen, let's just they got a bit of heat on them last time, but
the Kenny Booker finished too. Like no fireworks.
Listen, bro, we're in the heat right now.
He's coming back to the Thunderdome very soon.
All I'm doing, I'm just gonna go to Home Depot. I'm gonna get a box of nails and a hammer.
No, stop right there. Let's go back to
house.
South Park. I've seen your Dr. Seuss meme. We're not going to go there.
He won't come back to my house.
South Park. Okay, they canceled all these other cartoons that just for having guns on Yosemite Sam or the skunk trying to kiss the other skunk or whatever. This is current, and they are making fun of everything that these people hold dear. It's very suspicious how they are not, because they never come out one way or the other.
There's part of me that thinks that some of the fucking censors don't get it. The people who are watching it are not understanding what they're being made fun of. And South Park is the thing is, if South Park goes away, like they've really just laid on that line forever. They've laid on the edge of all of it, of getting canceled every season. There's always one. So, like that, to me, that's, I don't think they're going to cancel them because they might just not understand that they're being made fun of. And legal wise.
How about the best meme I saw though was like, if you're pissed about, Dr. Seuss being canceled or you're good with Dr. Seuss cancel and go home and play Grand Theft Auto like with your kid does that,
right. Or what was the other one, Dr. Seuss? It was
I always hate to be like, oh, you're gonna do this but that, and they're like, fine, we'll cancel that too. No,
right.
Is that everything is on the table. There is no, you get to choose, not narrow.
But now let's look at back when we were younger. Let's look at back in the day, okay?
On the Boulevard
Tipper
of London?
Gore. Tipper shit, I gotta fuck. You caught me. I went right off.
Tipper Gore?
You say so now we're not going to take it anymore. What's it? Yeah.
So no, my thought was Tipper Gore went in and she went in on metal. Okay, so now metal was the thing you had to ban. We had to ban metal. Dee Schneider showed up and they said, "Fuck you, we're not banning metal." So metal was saved. Hooray! Then they went after rap because NWA came out.
2 Live Crew.
Okay. Yeah, right. 2 Live Crew, NWA. They all came out, and all that shit dropped. And now, rap. You look at that, and you look at like NWA and 2 Live Crew shit, and you're like, tame, because now it's 100 times worse.
Oh yeah, I mean they're acting like what's the with the wet ass pussy shit and all that she can come out and do these, Illuminati.
Luther does it. He's a sexist pig.
Right. It's fine now. It's empowering to do that, right? But
I want to see Luther come back and do it.
My buddy Hooch had a whole bit in '97 about, I heard this song the other night at the club. Show me a pussy. And this song encompassed everything we've ever wanted to say to a woman. show me a pussy. The words to go, and like I'm like, that's 97, hot 97 mentality right there. 24 years ago.
Yep.
But they want to let this shit slide and go on the other. Like they're just pushing. All they're doing is coming up and putting their finger in your chest, going,
bro. It fits
something.
It fits the narrative. I mean, we have
Who's
Cardi
narrative?
B.
Who's
What?
narrative? Whose narrative? That's what I'm saying.
The leftist, progressive. Leftist progressive narrative that's incorporated within television programming, the media, all that stuff.
I won't even say I don't even want to say just the leftist.
Well, look,
it's not. I think to go leftist is the thing. Like it is like just too broad. When we keep saying I keep saying who is this and what are we gonna do? It's got to be easy enough to find out who the coordinator of the Grammys are, who built those sets, who set up all the entrances that way, who their bosses are. It can't, like, that's who the spotlight needs to be on, where we're going, let's get them on the show and ask them why you're doing this dumb fucking shit.
It's Enrico Palazzo,
we're told to. We're told to. My boss said so.
By who? Then I want them on the show.
Enrico Palazzo.
We'll get Jamal. We'll get everybody out here.
Pop. But look. This is what I was getting at, right? Okay. Everything that fits their narrative gets on TV and never gets the green light. We have this chick, Cardi B. Hell of a talent as far as rhyming goes. Yeah, she was a lot better a few years ago when she depended on her lyrics more than her sexuality. But she's good on the mic, right? She has the ability. She's not the greatest, but she's not bad by any means.
Go ahead. Continue with your narrative.
Hold on. Listen. It's not about.
I'm not here to argue about her music.
Exactly. So she comes out. She's like, "Yeah, I used to be a stripper and I used to drug people and rob them." I'm sorry. What did you say? And you want to be a fucking a role model to people? Talking about WAP?
She's Bernie's person. She was there.
But yeah, exactly. And then and then she comes out and she gets the freaking Woman of the Year award. I think was it from Time or whatever, or Billboard or whatever. And all this nonsense because she decided to back a Democratic candidate to get the demographic behind the Democrats and all this, one hand washes the other scenario. And then what happens? I'm sorry. Didn't a guy just go to jail by the name of Bill Cosby for drugging people and molesting them? This chick is drugging people and robbing them. She admits to it, and she's scot-free. Like, there is not an even playing field, unfortunately, for everything. We've seen it in the Star Wars culture with Gina Carano and all the lefties in Lucasfilm, whether it's Pedro Pascal or Pablo Hidalgo or any other executive, or Justina Ireland with her racist tweets in the day. Even James Gunn got fucking crucified for his jokes, but he got brought back. And then he went against Gina Carano for what she posted, which is like, hey, isn't that a little hypocritical? Yeah. But that's what it all is. It's all hypocrites. We have people on the left, and it's not all leftists, but the extreme left. You know what I'm saying? They're all saying the same thing. They'll say AB3 today, and they'll do something tomorrow to contradict it. Case in point, look at the president. We're going to get all these shots in by May 1st because we want to save millions of lives. Next week, he goes and bombs Libya and blows up and kills millions of people over there in the Middle East. Hold on a second. You say my body, my choice for abortions, but not my body, my choice for the shot? Oh, you say follow the science, bless you. You say, I'll follow the science because we need to get the shot. But then when it comes to gender, follow the science doesn't count. Biology doesn't count. X and Y chromosomes, X and X chromosomes. Come on, man. You can't just pick what fits your argument for the time being. It has
sure, you can. That's their whole fucking angle. Of course they can.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm being sarcastic here.
I know, but I'm super straight double back psychology go over on them. Big Stevie, what are your thoughts on Big Stevie Cool? Your thoughts on Cardi B's Illuminati indoctrination from the ground?
Please make that a sound bite.
I think it was the only successful thing she's ever done in her career. I want to tell you a funny story. My wife's probably going to listen to this, but speaking of Grand Theft Auto, I was sitting at the dinner table. This is the first time I was ever at her family dinner, the first time meeting her family. And she had her Uncle Roger and a next door neighbor named Milt, who actually asked me to go over and play World of Tanks on Xbox, which I was super
What was his name?
tempted
Mill?
to do, but what's that?
Milton.
Milton.
Oh, Milton. Okay, sorry.
So we're sitting there, and it's just like regular talk or whatever, and they just started talking about video games. And Roger brought up Grand Theft Auto, and for some reason, I brought up hot chocolate. Do you guys know what that is?
No.
Basically, that's where you get a hooker in your car, the deal happens, and then you kill her and take the money back.
Is that what it's called?
Or no, the original one was the secret thing, but then it was called that. No, the secret thing that you actually get, the first one that was hidden. That's why the Republicans, who were the cancel culture back in the day, were trying to cancel Grand Theft Auto because of hot chocolate. But the funny part of the story is I actually brought this
it's
trick
hot
up.
coffee.
I brought this hot coffee now?
It's hot coffee. I was
okay.
like, I didn't think it was hot chocolate.
Well, now it is.
It's a good prostitute name.
Mandela.
Yeah, it sounds like an awesome stripper name.
Well, here's the
welcome
gist
to
of
the
the story.
stage.
I was trying to bring a little comedy before you guys. Why don't you just jump on the stage and tell the punchline while I'm telling the joke? Go ahead. I'll stop. Okay.
I thought you said Spider. I'm okay, Spider.
I'm just sharing my most intimate moments with my wife. You know, that's okay.
As long as she's listening.
Wait, your intimate moment with your wife's talking about getting a chick in the car and killing her and taking the money back.
Yeah, in front of her family.
She would be all
just met me for the first time. This is how you get your money back. You got to do this in Grand Theft Auto, which Uncle Roger and Milt were completely grateful for. They thought it was cool, but as I panned the table and saw my wife's big, beautiful eyes looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "It's just," and that was it. And I had to delete it off my PS4 after that.
Oh, and you're still sane, but if you read a Dr. Seuss book right now, who knows what you're capable of?
Yeah, right.
I talked about when I flew the helicopter into the strip bar tonight in one of my missions. I never got past level 1. I would just drive around trying to get 5 stars.
I mean, it's just the hypocrisy of it. I love the super straight thing to double back the psychology on them. Do we have anything else before we move on to Dyatlov?
I just want to know when I can get the SRF 16 hooker killing spree workout.
The hot coffee workout?
I got to put him over here, though, man. The video game is out, and he's on the cover. He made the cover of Retromania, and it's pretty awesome, dude. So I'm proud of you.
Congratulations.
Look at you go.
Oh, he's being all humble.
It only took 30 years. 30 years, no politicking. If you want to politic, you can get it done in like 8 or 9. But if you don't want to politic, it'll take a good 30 to 50. That's a good, I mean, if you took the vaccine, you better politic because you don't have much time left. You better get going.
Anything else, fellas, or no? We ready to move?
I think so.
She may want to tell the story herself. Hold on. Go ahead, we can move on.
What about UFOs? Anything you want to talk about UFOs real quick?
I mean, a lot of older footage is coming out. That one from 2012 that I shared, and there's the one from Brazil earlier in the month. There's the one over, was it not the Pentagon, the Capitol, right? Another one over the Capitol.
Yeah.
Shout out to Angelo Andrews, who keeps sending me stuff.
Yeah.
And shout out to that greenhorn, Joey Conway, who's listening.
Salsa Verde, yeah, double A, appreciate that, man. And El Plaja on the UFO tip as well, really keeping an eye on that, and our alternate channels where he's got things set up. Also, he put together a new link tree. I try and act like I'm cool enough to use. It seems pretty simple, but it's got everything: Hameen Media Group and Conspiracy Horsemen, NFO, all the links to all the shows. So if you're into Linktree, get with El Plaja. I'm sure we can get that in the Hameen Media Group for you. No problem.
Is the Horror Junkyard on there?
I hope so. I hope they're coming back, man. I mean, the channel's still there. So
who's gonna blow a comeback first? Horror Junkyard or Jesus?
That's a tough call. What's Jesus driving?
I don't know. I think he's hanging out in Oak Island.
Oh, well, what's the Horror Junkyard driving?
He said he's there.
Oh, he's trying to
nails into my fucking brain.
He's trying to use one of those coins to pick up a bus and come back to the States.
Yeah, I got to check.
Oak Island. I the coins, but they keep falling through the slots in his hands.
Oh, no.
Hold on a second. We got an alternate thing. I got to shut the camera off first. Here you go.
What do you have to shut the
He's
camera
rated.
off for? Here.
Oh,
Whoa, we saw it. It was like big time.
Yeah.
here you go.
Hey, yeah. He really is Chinese.
Told him about the
Hey.
dinner.
She's Asian. She's completely Asian.
Roger and-
I'm not Asian.
No, the kids in the
Not to be
basement.
offended by it. Jeez.
I'm not offended either. I love
Canceled.
Asians.
We're canceled.
So what am I telling? Sorry. What am I telling?
The story when Stevie killed a hooker and took his money back.
Yeah.
We went to sorry, I'm like scrubbing. Hey, everybody.
We were in Arkansas.
No, it was the first time that he met my family. It was my mom's birthday party, right?
Yeah, that's
Is that a lie
Yeah.
detector? What's going on? What's happening?
What is
What's that
that?
beeping?
What's
you
beeping?
hitting the thing.
Oh, sorry, I'm moving.
By the way, you sound better on the mic than
You do
Steve.
sound great. I don't understand what's going on.
Oh,
You sound amazing.
thank you. So I take him home. It was the first time that he's meeting basically my whole family, right? And he's sitting at the table. And all of a sudden, he gets into this conversation with my uncle, and they start talking about hookers and Grand Theft Auto. And he's like
As
sitting
you do.
over here passing things, and he's like, "Yeah, the car goes like,
You kill her and take the money back.
yeah." And then you kill the hooker and like take the money back. He's got like all these ways to like kill the hookers, and he's like talking about this at our dinner table.
This is put a lot
And
of time into it.
we're still together. It's
Nice.
What was really weird was everybody else at the table was like, okay, go ahead.
yeah. What? No.
Have the game, but go on.
You said no hookers, Stan. No hookers. No hookers.
Nice.
No
Chris
hookers.
Commander
No
from
hookers.
You guys
Bye,
with the
guys.
run-in.
Bye.
Yeah. Or you can check out her podcast as well. Doing great things. So what's up on her podcast for this week, Stevie?
Actually, we have my buddy who's a senator. You know Julian Bradley. You guys know him.
A senator.
Chris Cruz.
Bill
He's a
Bradley.
senator in Wisconsin now, so he's going to be on talking about politics.
And where can they find? What's the name of the podcast?
Career Junkie Podcast. So that'll be on probably this Monday. I'm not allowed to ask him any conspiracy horseman type questions, so that's for another time.
Well, if he's a senator, he's well versed in killing hookers. He knows what's.
He knows.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of hot coffee in his background.
Oh, and somebody
Wait,
could have
that's
used
all, wait,
hot
that's all you have
coffee
to do,
with,
Stevie.
What's that?
One thing. When he comes on, the first thing that she has to say to him is hot coffee, and see his facial reaction. If he sells, we'll know, and that's it. She doesn't have to say another thing after that.
All you have to do is ask him, "Do you like hot coffee?"
She'd be like, hot coffee?
Hmm.
And just
Hot
watch
dogs,
his face.
hot coffee, hot dogs. Can I interest you in either of those?
Actually, someone put in the chat career junkyard. That's actually a good name for careers that are dead.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that'd
I can go in there and you can do everything.
My wrestling career, everything,
Sure. Take it
So I'm
easy.
sorry I took that off on a left turn. I'm surprised she got on camera. That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
a legendary
It's a
episode
first.
of the Conspiracy Horseman right here, man.
It's our influence.
That means she's gonna kill you and take her money back, Stevie. Watch out.
Well, it's all encrypted. She's not going to get it.
Oh, man.
She
Has
broke my-
science
broke
solved one of history's greatest adventure mysteries, Sal? The bizarre deaths of the hikers of the Russia's Dyatlov Pass have inspired countless conspiracy theories, but the answer may lie in an elegant computer model based on surprising sources. A 62-year-old adventure mystery that's prompted conspiracy theorists or the conspiracy horsemen around Soviet military experiments, Yetis, and even extraterrestrial contact may have its best, most sensible explanation yet. One found in a series of avalanche simulations based in part on car crash experiments and animation used in the movie Frozen. In an article published today, this is in January of 2021. In the Journal of Communications, Earth and Environment, researchers presented data pointing to the likelihood that a bizarre small delayed avalanche may have been responsible for the gruesome injuries and deaths of 9 experienced hikers who never returned from a planned 200-mile adventure in Russia's Ural Mountains in the winter of 1959. What's become known as Dyatlov Pass incident, 10 members of the Urals Polytechnic Institute in Yekaterinburg. Oh, this is a tough one. Yekaterinburg, 9 students and 1 sports instructor who fought in World War II, headed into the frigid wilderness on skiing and mountaineering expedition January 23rd, 1959. So they were actually pretty advanced hikers. This is like, I guess, a rite of passage. I don't know if it's like Eagle Scout or whatever it is for men and women, but being a mountaineer, this was an expedition that they were going on to earn that credibility. And one guy twisted his ankle or some shit, and Yuri, he got the fuck out of there, so he didn't die. But that was the 10th man who on day one was kind of out of the hunt. Any questions before I go on anything?
Well, they had also thrown out at them that they died because of their inexperience. Okay.
Well, they were experienced hikers because
level 2, right?
Yeah, they level 2 in this mountain, which is actually called
the Mountain of Death.
Mountain of Death, in Devil's Pass, not Dyatlov Pass before that. So that was before they died there. So is there some mysterious mystery wrapped around them as we'll go further? Anybody got anything they want to say?
Well,
this is very.
Okay.
No. I was going to say this is very compelling. This whole story is very.
It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
One of the original stories, and it immediately got discredited. The one girl was missing her tongue.
Yes.
The other dude was missing his eyes.
So and somebody else's lips were gone.
Right.
And
so
these fleshy parts that are very cattle mutilation-esque.
Very carrion.
I got it.
That's what animals do.
It was Mr. Potato Head. He
was like, these son of a bitches.
Cancel this now.
It's not Mr. anymore. It's just Potato Head.
My world.
So now they had claimed that there are these basically Russian Melungeons who live out in the fucking mountains.
Right. There's a tribal people out there that were headhunters of some type years.
Right. They're like the Appalachians of the.
Oh.
So they had started off by saying they were killed by these cannibals, right? And that turned out to be horse shit because there was nothing inconsistent with attacks or.
I'll come right back to you.
Yeah.
The thing that was very odd about this, and this is sub-zero weather in Russia, and they're in a tent at night, and when they left the tent was sliced from the side, not out the front of like escaping. And the people who were closest and that were supposedly had ran away, the first 3 were in their underwear. Like they like just running into waist high deep snow in Arctic temperatures. What inside your tent would cause you to do that? Now, some of these bodies also tested for a higher dose of radiation.
Right.
And so is there a natural radioactive thing there that makes people go ape shit? I know where there's a place magnetic wise where I hunt, where if you go in there with your compass, it'll just start fucking spinning around, dude, of the iron that's in the ground there. So is there something that way? Or, they say Yeti is something attacking them. Was it attacked from the side, even though it looked like it was cut from the inside going out? And there was some type of beast that would drag 2 or 3 people and bodies out, but they could see the footprints, so things are strange, but they seem like PSI'd here, like, you know what I mean? Like the info is pretty solid.
So some of the stuff that also has been proven, though, that when these guys go into hypothermia, you start taking clothes off.
Yes.
It's paradoxal undressing. So you start, freaking out and you're like, oh God, I'm sweating. It's like when you touch the hot coffee pot and it's so hot that it's cold for a second and then it burns.
Mm-hmm.
It's that going through your brain, but that never stops during the hypothermia.
Hypothermia,
you start burning.
Yeah, absolutely.
You start burning, and you swear. Wait, I got to take, and you start taking clothes off, and especially if something's happening in your brain, because hypothermia, you'll go to sleep.
But Sally, 3 of them in the tent, all like that at the same time.
That's the thing. Like, if something's in your brain and it's scrambling your fucking brain, and you're suffering from some kind of delusion, you're suffering from some kind of manic attack, and you're suffering from hypothermia. Like, who knows? Like, and that's the thing. Who the fuck knows exactly what combination of shit went on?
Sure.
They didn't say. Again, you got to think they had alcohol. Alcohol would have kept them warm for at least a little bit longer than they survived.
woods.
They got rid of the alcohol. They got rid of the alcohol and the cigarettes. They said
they got rid of them because they wanted to fucking really focus on this. Like that's how serious. Like these weren't just like maybe they were. Let's go have the Russian orgy in the woods in the tent. Maybe that was what was going down, and something happened. That's why they were half naked too. You never know. But that supposedly there was like a call to leave all that shit there so they could focus on this dangerous hike to be able to do that. What are you thinking? I like that Wu-Tang Financial, diversify your bonds.
Yeah, they encrypt your shit. It's a new thing that I was going to do.
Crypto.
What do I think? I mean, this is another kind of version of the missing 411 stuff we have here in the States. I mean, obviously the evidence that you're talking about with this is different, but what is going on in these remote areas, in these places where people camp out or they hunt or they fish in different parts of the world where people just go up missing or strange stuff like this? There's even, I saw related. Right? What's that? In
Yellowstone, there's a lot of this.
In California, the basketball game, those kids disappeared out in the snow. They got lost and they fucking died out there. California, not even the Russian wilderness, but California.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this stuff is just a mystery. We brought this up before, but there was 2 girls too that there was a strange thing. I think I shared it with you guys. I saw it as a related story to this, where they were missing and their body parts, their bones were strung across a huge area. And then when they got their cell phones, people were whoever was taking pictures afterwards, just strange stuff of taking pictures of both girls, even though both girls were together, they had the phone. It was some strange stuff. I mean, it gives you chills. And of course, they said there were certain cannibals in that area too, but once again, like Sal said, it's not consistent with
these mutilations are strange. Yeah, like some of the ones were just frozen in time. The third guy had his arms up, like reaching for something. Like if you were to fall, I don't think you're going to freeze that instantly with your arms up, reaching to be frozen. That the rest of the bodies are found with neck abuse as well. But if it's an animal like that, you would see bite marks. And you would see they would usually go for the innards and tear your guts apart as any,
would they eat you as food too?
Yeah, well, they eat the gut first, but it might freeze and before time they got there. You know what I mean? But there's none of that. There's just like lips are gone, eyes are gone, eyebrow, upper cheek gone, like strange like injuries that don't coincide with like, okay, that's a bear. That's a wolf. That's some type of varmint that's just been chewing on. Because another girl in there was found by a small river creek that had like iced over, but there was water underneath it. Like it looked, and she was found on there right by the water. And then another 3 of them were found in a snowbank. Those are the ones that really tested high for radiation. And they were
one guy who was frozen. That leads more. Now, and I know this is terrible.
Yeah.
There was a video a while back where it was hang on, brain for it. Soda. It was a 2-liter soda bottle, and it was full of soda, and there was a dog chasing it.
Yeah.
Dog bit it. It exploded. The dog died from biting the bottle and stiffened up, rock hard solid. So that something to that going off. When the guy was frozen up, that leads to that flash bomb theory that they were doing parachute mines and they were dropping concussive flash bombs in that area that don't leave a burn, didn't leave a mark, but could have killed these people instantly. And that could also explain the radiation.
That absolutely could. And why you like if incoming starts hitting, you fucking cut out of the tent if one hits close. And but
especially if you don't know what it is and you think an avalanche is coming.
But here we are. Here we are. The bodies are found and the eyeballs are missing. I love your theory. Animals. I love what.
Why can't it be both?
They wouldn't just stop there. They wouldn't stop there, dude.
But like, here's the thing.
An animal's not going to eat.
We're assuming that they had all the time in the world. Animal Land starts picking out at somebody, and then somebody's coming. Oh, there's a Russian party coming to see these people. Oh, let's get the fuck out of here.
These
it's not like the bodies were rotting. The bodies were not rotting. They were
Yeah,
frozen.
but her
But there-
lips.
You
Her
would be
lips
able
were
to
cut
see-
off. They weren't gnawed off. Her eyes were gouged out.
Time out. Now, I would like to point out that during our time when we were supposed to go panning for alien gold, and I was looking up a lot of the Skinwalker Ranch shit, assholes, lips, eyes, surgically removed, were done by birds. Birds.
What?
Birds, my man. Birds clean. Picking shit clean. Lips, eyeballs,
I'm
assholes.
with it. I mean, there's all these different things of why, and then why the radiation. So the bombing, and then that
And
possibly,
then carrion.
and maybe they're not eating more of them because after the birds eat them, it makes them sick, and they know not to come back because of that. You know what I mean? You get a bad dose of it. I'm going to keep going here, and then we'll come back. One student joined joint pain turned back, but the rest, led by 23-year-old engineering student Igor Dyatlov, continued on. According to the camera film and personal diaries later found on the scene by investigators, the team made camp on February 1st, pitching a large tent in the snowy slopes of Kholat Syakhl, whose name can be interpreted as Dead Mountain in the language of the region's indigenous Mansi people. The 7 men and 2 women were never heard from again. Well, a search team arrived from Kholat Syakhl. A few weeks later, expedition tent was found just barely sticking out of the snow, and it appeared cut open from the inside. The next day, the first of the bodies was found near a cedar tree. Over the next few months, as the snow thawed, search teams gradually uncovered more spine-chilling sights. All 9 of the team's members' bodies were scattered around the mountain slope, some in a baffling state of undress. Some of their skulls and chests had been smashed open. Others had eyes missing, and one lacked a tongue. Yeah, those first 3 guys had smashed chests, like, an elephant stepped on them. Which that goes to the Yeti type thing to me. Each body piece was a grim puzzle, but none of the pieces seemed to fit together. A criminal investigation in the time blamed their deaths on an unknown natural force, quote unquote, and the Soviet bureaucracy kept the case quiet. The lack of detail about this shocking event and apparent massacre that transpired in a deeply secretive state gave rise to dozens of long-lived conspiracy theories, from clandestine military tests to Yeti attacks. In the wake of the renewed media interest and the pervasive outlandish hypotheses, Russian authorities recently re-examined the case around the Dyatlov Pass incident and concluded in 2019 that an avalanche was the primary responsibility for the 9 deaths. Key scientific details were absent from the report, however, including a clear explanation as to how an avalanche could have taken place with no documented evidence of its occurrence left behind. This led to continued doubts around seemingly explanation from government, long infamous for its lack of transparency. Many argued the Avalanche Theory, initially proposed in 1959, still didn't seem to stack up, but it looks like they are back on it now. I can stop reading here as it goes into avalanche craziness, but it does have some avalanche testing again from the film Frozen and what they did CGI wise. Supposedly this small scale instant avalanche may have ran down on them. I could see why that would make them cut the tent. Say they're all in bed and an avalanche runs over on you and you're still able to breathe. You got to cut your way out. You know what I mean? Instead of going out that way and you can't get to any of your stuff. Once you get out there, you're fucked kind of, and everything's under 6 feet of snow. Now, did that snow melt? And they're saying there isn't really proof of that avalanche. This is all kind of hearsay once again, but trying to cut down from the Yeti or the bombing or the whatever it is, where these hikers weren't even found in the tent. They're found, kilometers away from the campsite here, ill-dressed and ill-prepared, like they went mad. GGP?
I'm not buying the avalanche theory, only because maybe they said their chest was compressed like they got hit in a car accident, but there was no bruising. Now maybe that can be suffice for an avalanche to lie on you, but it wasn't just one person. It was like multiple people had the chest injury. So what? They were all just lying down there and waiting for the avalanche to get them.
Well, let's say you're in the tent, right? And the avalanche comes over. That's 1,000 pounds of snow on your chest. you're trying to pull yourself out, you cut yourself out, and you only get so far until internal bleeding takes over and down you go.
But the case is they all got out of the tent.
So
The tent was cut. The tent was cut open.
I'm just
let's try to Quincy this for a second. So if these guys were killed instantaneously, blood would stop flowing and it would pool up in extremities unless it was cold. And you were immediately in snow.
If they were killed instantly, they'd be in the tent. They're not.
But that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So if you were killed instantly, the no bruising would make sense because there would be no bruising.
But there was bruising. There was broken necks.
There was broken bones and innards. No bruising on the outside.
On the chest. On the chest.
Yeah,
but they had bruises and cuts on their heads, on their
they
neck.
had abrasions.
So,
like I said, I'm the lack of bruising on the chest. If you stop pumping, you're not going to get the blood clots. You're not going to get the spray of blood. You're not going to get all that shit that would lead to that.
Stevie, what are you thinking about the Avalanche Theory versus some of the sexier?
Thinking about killing hookers
and fucking grabbed somebody's eyes and fucking ripped them out and took them up the trail and left them. You know what I mean? Get the fuck off my mountain. Or the Maasai killer cannibals that came and got him.
No, this looks like I would tend to believe, from looking at the photos again just a few minutes ago, I would tend to believe what Sal said. It looks like literally some kind of force, kind of like you said, caved their chest in, blew their eyes out. The lips and the cheek thing is interesting. Yeah, because a lot of these people are missing their eyes from what I see in the picture. Yeah. The most interesting one that I see is the supposed Yeti that's caught on film.
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
That's the one we should probably. Yeah, but these people, I mean, that have their eyes missing, literally look like they. How long did it just remind me? How long did it take them to find them?
26 days, I think it was.
Yeah, and they had to go back to find the other people. Like, it took a while.
Okay, but the people they found, like, usually I would assume when your body's decomposing, even in normal circumstances, not the freezing cold, how long does it take your eye tissue and all that stuff to decompose fully out of your eye to where you cannot see any remnant of it? That's the interesting part. So you're talking about 26 days. Let's just say 6 months. These people are not in a warm, humid environment where the decomposition, the worms, all the bugs, everything is going to eat away at it. And if it's an animal, are they just going to eat their eyes and take that and leave everything else? It's very strange.
I'm just trying to find some stills as we go along here. So
unfortunately, trying to make sense out of the situation, and this being a 62-year-old mystery, it's because when we come out to some conclusion, in my opinion anyway, when we come out to one conclusion trying to tell the truth behind the situation, it only applies to one aspect of what happened, and then it gets contradicted by another aspect of what happened. Like, for example, the thing with the chest with the avalanche. Okay, that's plausible, but their eyes getting popped out and or cut out and their lips getting cut out, it can't happen in an avalanche. You know what I'm saying? You're on mute. Sal, you're on mute.
I'm an idiot. So it's the fact, what you're saying is you're saying they were cut out. We don't know if they were cut out. That's the thing.
Didn't they say it in the video they were cut out?
See, but it's the term, it's the words they're using.
And they also said they were alive when this happened.
Well, then there would be blood all over the place.
Oh, I'm just telling you what they said.
Right. That doesn't make sense. They also were very inconsistent about the distances. There's a lot of they were this far away. No, they were this far away. No, they were this far away.
Well,
I guess their white privilege didn't help them out in this.
It could also mean that the bodies could have been moved and placed in certain spots to make it look like certain things. I mean, we don't know.
Well, these burns on head and feet, gray fluid coming out of mouth, scrapes and bruises, ear, nose, and mouth covered in blood, which seems to me like some type of vomiting, radiation poisoning, possibly too.
Could be radiation
or something. When your inner ear pops.
Yeah.
How about some sort of
heavy bruise and burns on foot, legs, and hands, and chunks of his own knuckle found in his mouth.
Nice.
Yes.
I mean, where are we going with that? I mean,
Yeah.
what the,
You might have
They
been
were
watching
saying-
a Cardi B performance and he was biting his knuckle.
yeah, you say you heard about
He's all
Cardi.
turned on.
So Igor Dyatlov was the third body found. Obviously, this name for him. Abrasions, bruising on his ankles, cuts and bruises on his face, missing his jaw incisor.
Yep.
One of the girls here found abrasions on the hand, bruising on the face, long bruise on the side.
She might have been running the ropes.
She could have. She's probably green.
Well, there's some stuff that just seems
Old Rusty.
very brutal and kind of butcherish, and then there's some stuff that seems surgical. It's very odd.
Yes, that's a good point.
Didn't they find the guy's camera and they developed the film and it looked like he was taking pictures of the sky as well?
Internal bleeding, internal bleeding in the temples, large fracture on the skull. Yeah, there is. He was taking pictures of what looked to be possibly UFOs. That's the thing. Like, they're out there to document all this. Some real. They're like the early Bear Grylls. Like, if Bear Grylls had an adventure camp, that's what this shit is.
Except they didn't have cameraman.
Yeah, the TV crew didn't take him back to the hotel afterwards.
Nobody rubbed his feet.
Yeah.
But again, that falls back into the flash bomb tests. They start dropping concussive mines, flash mines.
Here we go. Missing lips, missing soft tissue in the cheek. What else did he have here? This one's a lot longer. Massive hemorrhaging in the heart, missing eyes, and missing tongue.
Yeah,
To me, that's birds, man. Carrying birds, big ones.
Zoloratov. Let's see what he did. If he's Hall of Famer here. 5 broken ribs, flail in the chest, missing soft tissue on the face, deep gash in the back of his head, and missing his eyes as well.
Do we know if these guys had any connection to the Clintons at all?
Or Paul Heyman?
They had,
One of them, Paul Heyman's
I didn't see a
father,
taxi
because
anywhere.
he
I didn't
swore on
know.
his eyes, so it could be.
Yeah. This all,
Any of these, Mr. Heyman? None of them?
this all sounds like a classic case of self-defense.
yeah. Oh shit, I missed that one. Hold on. Let's see.
Maybe Cardi B drugged them and robbed them.
Missing
Drugged them,
eyebrows.
broke their nose.
Missing eyebrows exposed to the bone is interesting to me, as opposed to just eyes being missing. Broken nose, deformed neck, gash behind his right ear. That's a new.
It's like that story about the guy who killed his whole family, went to the next town, and then killed her whole family, and then said he was cleaning the gun and it accidentally went off.
It all went off there. Yeah,
No.
clean your guns. Nikolai. Bruising on his face, internal bleeding on his forearm, shattered skull. I mean, like some of these, I just get there and I'm like, damn, okay, an avalanche could cause this to the other. And then I'm like, damn, did a Yeti come in and just fuck these people up, or like a family of Yetis, man?
Yeah, imagine that. Well, imagine that. They all died very peacefully in a fucking snowstorm or something. Yeti's like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Hold on.
Tearing them up.
Just fucking ripping them apart.
The internal bleeding in the forearm's interesting. Was that more of a defensive wound? It sounds like, maybe putting
don't
your
hit me in the face.
Yeah.
Now here's some other things. They found this, which seems to be.
What is that?
Damn it, YouTube. It was the Yeti from WCW. It's the Yeti.
Oh no.
So this is
I know what this is. This is a house here in Georgia that's going for $575,000.
Points. So this is supposedly like a hunting ground piece they found there. It's got moose horns here, but then they found this too, which are these scratches 1958 before. So they're not sure if this is a tribal marking here, but look at these, this almost looks Yeti-esque if you were to be like, oh, there's some weird Bigfoot shit going on here.
Marking territory type stuff.
Yeah, well, that seems a little bit. I doubt.
Didn't they say that was the tribal plan?
Yeah. No, this was for the tribal people that live in that area. This is for them, but they are also the ones who are descendants of headhunters or what have you, or
Russian Melungeons. Shovel tooth bastards.
I mean, this guy's ready to go skiing and cut your eyebrows off. I mean, that's what he does. That's
what you do. Hey, we ski. I got my
here
kid
we
with me.
go.
I'll eat your fucking eyebrows. Ready?
This is from the camera of, I think, Dyatlov's camera right here.
Yep.
This is from their camera, dude. So that's pretty solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of things in the woods where if it was a tree and it was snow covered, like you see around, and the stump was there, it could make this outline. But that top of that would have all snow on top of it too. It wouldn't stick out like that. That to me is compelling Yeti Bigfoot evidence, dude. And this is off of the cameras of the dead bodies of them, dude. That's not while they were out there finding them and shit like that. So
look at Rustum. Rustum's again. He's running outside. Look at this dumb fuck.
Can we get some scientists like from CERN or something to see how tall it is in the picture, where they can actually calculate the guy's height?
Or these cocksuckers didn't know. Look at this guy. He's bored out of his fucking head. I'd kill everybody in the campsite.
But can't wait for somebody to come along and kill me.
Where to God?
He was the one who he took the picture of this in the sky.
Oh wow!
So like there's just so much of this where I can see where an avalanche could crush them and cause some of those injuries. But then why are they taking pictures of Yetis and UFOs? It's just got everything. And then we think Russia and Chernobyl, or is there some? Okay. They call it Death Mountain for a reason. Is there a natural uranium deposit there that has some type of radioactive force on them? Sally, go ahead, man.
So the white, the Space Ghost jet right there, we see. But then in the lower left-hand picture is that little dot, right? And this is supposed to be out in the wilderness. There's nothing. Look to your left, Nick. Go all the way to the left. Is that little dot there?
This here?
Right there. Yeah. The fuck is that? Like that alone I would have been like, wow, what's that? That's interesting. But then plus you got that, you got the other fucking white thing in the middle of it.
At least the eye popping out, chest crushing, slicing up probe.
Yeah,
that's what they said. The aliens,
dude. I just, this picture to me, really, I'm like, fuck anything else. I'm like, these motherfuckers, maybe they weren't cutting their way out. Maybe a Yeti punched through their tent and dragged them each one out by their ass and just fucked them up and left them in the fucking snow, bro.
Sal, I got one thing to say to you.
You know what will have an eyebrow missing? When a Yeti digs its fucking hand into your head and rips your eyebrow from your fucking skull. That'll take your eyebrow off.
Wendigo.
What's gonna put its hand in your mouth and take your jaw off your head out of nowhere, like one homeboy had, bro?
Let me throw this out there. You listen. You guys know I am there. I am all about this.
Nobody loves a Yeti more than you. We know,
right? Okay. So here's my thought: could that be a Russian soldier in a suit with a gas mask on?
Could be. Depending on the height.
It looked like he had a fanny pack on his front, like he had a belly bag, which are those Russian. They have those Russian snowsuits with the front gimmick.
I'm with you.
Only because they caught him and they were like, "What the fuck is that?" And at that point, everybody zooms in. We're done. We're out of here. We're done here. Now, the whole thing about this is really brutal. They really fucked these people up.
Yeah.
You don't think Russian soldiers can do that shit?
They could, but I think there was a real investigation here, and they found what they cataloged is 1 and 2 set of tracks of looked like someone's running away. I like your scenario. Let me put it this way: a cryptid, a Russian Yeti Bigfoot that does not want you on Death Mountain, that's been named Death Mountain for 100,000 years since the fucking indigenous people settled there, then punches through your fucking tent at 2 a.m. while you're in your underwear trying to get some pussy from one of the 2 chicks on the fucking thing and starts dragging GGP out of the
sexy.
Yeah.
Why do I gotta be the first one to die? Because I'm the darkest skin out of all you guys? Fucking racist.
My guy always dies first. And boom, just like crushes his chest in and rips his fucking eyebrow off. Your ass, it don't care what you got on, is up and moving, bro. You're not like, let me get my boots on. That's what this seems like. And then somebody else gets knocked down underneath the tree. And then the fucking girl runs and he gets her by the fucking, river and rips her eye out. The one guy rips his jaw out and it's gone. Like,
so now again, not to bring it back to reality. But what if now the fucking thick-skulled, slope-headed, shovel-toothed Russian Melungeons came in after this all went down? And they're like, oh, shit, dead bodies. Fuck this. And they take off.
I'm with, because there was no, they see the tracks, but there's no Bigfoot Yeti tracks. So I'm just spitballing my little fucking cryptids.
One of the things that they said is they saw them walking in single file, like the Tuscan Raiders.
Like sand peoples.
Yes.
That's interesting. All the there's a lot of
like they're being marched, like they're marched, and someone's behind them with an AK-47, you know, saying, you know, that's Vidania, whatever the fuck they're saying.
That's interesting. That could be Russian soldier, or it could be indigenous people.
Yeah, but here's the deal: if they are cannibals and they're indigenous, you know, to that territory, and then why didn't they eat the fucking bodies? That's a lot.
Why are the bodies strewn within a certain amount of area, and how do they kill them? There's no like puncture wounds. Why are their chests smashed in, but there's no bruising? This is one of the most.
They use the phone book like in jail.
They got him. Stevie, where are you sitting?
Oranges.
Everything you're hearing is what you think a plausible theory is, fantastic or not fantastic?
No, it's pretty crazy. I think the military thing, if it's not UFOs or cryptids, then it could be military. If we're looking at things in the sky and they saw something they weren't supposed to see, here we have something that's so crazy, they'll blame it on the aliens. They'll blame it on the cannibals. They'll blame it on Bigfoot, but they won't think
Death
it's
Mountain.
the KGB. You know, it's like, I'm just saying, like you're talking about, we're in the era of Roswell right here in the 40s and the 50s. You see those things up there, which I believe were real. And possibly whatever Sal made it look like it might have been a paratrooper or somebody that was military. They got caught. Could have been as easy as that.
It's like going on an Area 51. You're fucking dead.
Yeah,
like,
but it could have been more of so like either we make it look like it's so ridiculous. These 4 pro wrestlers are going to talk about it in 2021, and we're going to pop for it 80 years after we're dead, or it's just maybe these military people are sick fucks too. They're out there, they're stationed in the middle of nowhere, and it's like that's their version of fun. I mean, I'm just giving all the different theories. There's some sick people out there. Well,
that's the thing. You want to go storm Area 51 that says you will die if you do that. Could this be GGP, one of those types of things? I like your idea of being marched off single file, but to me it seems if they were going to do that, you would have found a bullet hole in them. And that's the weird part. That would line up with the story, missing a jaw and your eyeballs and being found dead in the snow without any stab wounds or anything like that, and look like you've been just kind of run over by a bull. Really that's what it looks like, is an animal injury of something crushing somebody's sternum and chest to do internal injuries in a forearm. I don't know, man. What are you thinking, dude?
I'm thinking that the variables in the equations contradict each other way too much, to the point where we can't make a valid assessment here, because like we just said, chest caves in. Okay, 1,000 pounds of snow on you. Of course, there's not going to be any bruising. But at the same time, 1,000 pounds of snow is not going to make you lose your jaw or your eyes or snap your neck or bruising and this, that, and the other, internal bleeding, yada, 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 gray stuff coming out of your mouth.
I might disagree with that, because I did look into that with the lungs, and I guess when your lungs are crushed, like that is a side effect of that gray stuff possibly being that way, and that's where that's really where the avalanche theory has that. Now, an avalanche could twist you with that amount of weight and snap your neck if it's rolling.
If he smacks you against a tree.
What about the eyes popping out and the lips being cut off and the eyebrows? So here's the deal. What if there was a sick fuck up there who's hiding from the federales, and he has a log cabin or living in a cave somewhere, and then anyone who comes on that mountain, he puts on his fucking Yeti costume and he takes them all out, and you know what I'm saying? And just to scare them, like, and it says, what would be cool if I keep these guys always guessing, so I'm going to pick out her eyes. I'm going to take this guy's lips off. So I'm going to crush this guy's chest, and he's just or they are just covering their tracks. Who knows? That's the issue with this. This is why I find this very intriguing and interesting, because unless you're Scooby-Doo and you got the mystery gang with you and you're solving mysteries, this ain't happening. We can't figure this out because there's not enough evidence.
You pull the mask off, it's the Russian guy from the village, and then the rest of the villagers show up and eat you.
You know who it is? I think it's the first guy who faked his injury and fucking came back and took everyone
Came
out.
back and
It's like,
fucked them all
fuck
over.
these
That's good.
guys.
No one's put the heat on him yet. Yeah,
Exactly.
Maybe he was a psycho
He
killer.
fed him to his fucking cousins.
Yeah.
Either that or he gave Putin 62 years of adrenochrome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad to get back to this, and I wanted to try and be able to put it in the solved file, but even the reenactment with the frozen footage and that, and how they did that and showing,
It's what they'd like to say.
just where the bodies are found, and then the radiation not explained. The fact that they developed their pictures and there's a UFO and a goddamn Yeti on the goddamn pictures, bro. Like, what's going on up there at Death Mountain in Devil's Pass, in Dyatlov Pass? I highly suggest you just put in Dyatlov Pass, Dyatlov Pass incident on YouTube and watch
Also,
the half-hour movie. It's very
Just a
good.
suggestion.
It's very good.
Don't just watch one.
Yes.
Watch multiples, because they each give you something different. They give you same facts. All the from the book facts are there. You can look it up on the Wikipedia, on any of these. They'll all talk about it. Watch different ones because they all give you different layers of it. And there's one where the Russian government closed the files and locked them. And then there was one where, then the next update was the guy went back and got access to them.
Right.
And then there was another one that the guy got something else.
Another one.
Right. So watch multiple ones. Don't just watch one and say, okay, there we go.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think Disco had the book in that territory that day? That's why we saw aliens and Yetis and stuff like that coming out. And second, was there any coconut fibers found in the vicinity anywhere? Can we turn this into a History Channel also?
This could be an Oak Island mystery.
There was a Templar coin found in the guts of one of them.
Oh man. I don't know. I think the only answer to this is to send out another 10-man, 20-year-old team of millennials to go hiking and see if anything happens up there by Death Mountain again, and we can hand pick a couple of them and get them out there. Is there horror junkyard tonight? Disco El Swayze wants to know age, sex, location from you.
No.
No to which one?
All of it.
Okay. Oh man. Hopefully he'll be back soon, you guys. They got some green screen work to do. We got to make sure
we're working with Biden's team.
That's what's taking so long.
That's what's taking a lot.
Do you think that's why he hasn't done a press conference in like 50-something days? Because it took him 50-something days to do that 3-minute clip with fucking
to figure out the green screen.
10 more days.
Chuck figured out in 4 minutes, so we should be good.
Oh, saying Mike Slap, shout out there. Yeah, Stevie, what's going on with X Chair? You've been talking to them? And big.
That's all done.
Oh, it's all over with. Oh,
Thank God. The truth will come out soon.
Yeah,
that's okay. I like the chair a lot, though. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
There,
nice.
I don't have to read their scripts anymore.
No,
you don't miss
I am really just Madison Avenue material, aren't I?
You're aces in my book, man. Sometimes some things aren't always meant to be. That's just
man, I felt that.
Yeah.
Now was there,
I just don't like being micromanaged or scripted. If I like something, I like something. And when it's just there's such a thing as being too like on brand, if that makes sense. You gotta, You
know what I like?
His name is Stevie Richards.
And
he has a conditioning and training program that's phenomenal.
That's why.
That's like me talking to Dr. Janda, by the way, Awakening of a Surgeon, available on Amazon.com. It's like me going to him and saying, you didn't say health and wellness. So just do it again. Do it again, right? Like this doctor who worked for 2 presidents. Like, that doesn't really mean anything.
Do it again.
Do it again.
You didn't say this. Oh, okay.
Do it.
All right. Oh man, this guy is
Could you,
slapping.
before you go live on
El
your radio
Capone?
show, can you tell us what you're going to say? Can you give us the live read, recorded, and then say it? So that's it. All right, are we doing our pitches?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm just taking home, and I was excited to talk about this, and this is a cool conspiracy kicked our way to kind of get us back in the fantasy. We did obviously our COVID duties tonight as we bring the whatever's going on. I know there's a big, I don't think it's by any means a false flag, but I was looking at the Atlanta shooting today there with the spas and how they're trying to spin that with 8 people dead. Very.
Okay.
No, they're not spinning it. They're
spas
spinning
or
the
massage parlors.
Yeah.
They kept using different lingo, different words.
But the cops are coming out, and everybody's coming out saying, even in mainstream media, that this was not racially motivated. They're trying
My
to.
kid went out and shot one people.
Sex addict now who was going against things and like that. I mean, I don't know. Here's the first questions I need to ask: are all 3 massage parlors owned by the same owner? Because if it is, then that seems more like an underground crime hit and a tactic to me, as opposed to just some lone gunman hitting up spas on doing drive-bys along those lines. That's 2 different roads, right? That's the first Y in the road of where we go with that.
That's where the bands are made. They need to slow that shit down.
People are trying to spin it like he's shooting Asian women. I go, and have you ever been to a spa or a nail salon?
Yeah.
Were to shoot guns in there, you're gonna hit 8 out of 10 people are gonna be Asians. That's just how it is if you're just randomly firing, dude. Like,
did he just not want to
Trump?
pay
They
for
would
the
still
happy
vote
ending?
for him. If Trump was doing the shooting, they would still vote for him.
Possibly.
What I was gonna say was the interesting thing is, because of all the times that we made fun of the former agent who tried to get us TV shows, she would send us to this place to be murdered in the snow to get back at us. This would be our TV show.
I have a wonderful idea.
I want
Actually, Sal made fun of her. I never said a word.
You just.
I have a wonderful idea for you, Steven. We'll send you to Dyatlov Pass. Well, no, we'll send the other 3 to Dyatlov Pass, and you can come to Dusty Bottom Pass. You could come. You could come eat my lips off, Steven. You could bruise my cheek meat. Eat my lips off, make it look surgical.
All the meat you can handle, man. That's
Oh God,
See
Sal,
if I
I
can
love
pop
you.
your eyes out.
No bread, no water, just meat. That's all he needs.
And shout out to Roadcaster, Jason and Road hooking us up, man. These Roadcasters changing the game here at Hameen Media Group. And super producer of the year, MSG's got one. Stevie and Big Ray making all of our shows that much better. As we just want to say, if there's a piece of gear that you want to get that's going to up your game in the podcasting industry, Roadcaster Pro for the price is well worth every penny in investment, man. So shout out to Road for hooking us up, and just going to be a big year of awesome shows, man. Steve Areno, get your home gym equipment at Force USA, StevieRichardsFitness.com. I'm feeling strong, been posting in the Hameen Media Group there. What else we missing, Stevie? Anything this week you got going down? Saying what's up to Punk? No?
What's that?
I said say what's up to Punk for me.
Oh yeah, I got to go back and film some more stuff there that I'm not supposed to talk about, even though they post a picture every day. It's a big secret. I said, this is more of an open secret than the other Hollywood stuff. What are you talking about? They know too, because all Luke and the others keep saying, I was like, hey, don't take any pictures of the Heels banner. And so why don't you just talk about it on your podcast? So somebody's listening.
Oh, good stuff, man. Are you going to do locker room tomorrow, or do you?
Yeah, I'll be here. No, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
I know it. Like, you want to talk about no sell, popping on jokes about it, but for some reason, the less I sell for it, or I just say, I don't know. It's like, they're okay. They're good people.
You'll be the lead heel by next season. Speaking of lead heels, GGP, man, I know you had a real in-depth conversation, industry talk wise. I think with a blogger that's going to really be eye-opening experience for a lot of people on both sides of the Star Wars universe, dude.
Yeah.
Big NFO doings. What's going down?
Yeah. What's her name? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, last night there was an article that came out. There's a website, marysue.com, and the assistant editor, her name is Rachel Leichman. She decided to write an article about the Disney shareholders call, where two guys or two people asked questions. They were all softball questions for the majority for Bob Chapek, who's the CEO of Disney. And then these two guys come out, and one of them says, "You know what? You're firing Gina Carano, but you didn't fire this one, that one, and the other. Are you just firing conservatives? Are you guys more liberal?" And then Bob Chapek gives the PC answer and his answer. And then another guy comes on and says, "Listen, is Kathleen Kennedy getting fired? And are you going to replace him with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni anytime soon?" And then he says, "Well, we would love to have Kathleen Kennedy here, you know, and for years to come, handling all future projects at Lucasfilm." And, you know, people got into an uproar saying, "Oh, he confirmed it." He didn't confirm shit. He's at a shareholders meeting. He's not going to say he's firing a woman on National Women's Day or if she's going to stay or whatever. He just says, "We would love to have her on board." You know what I'm saying? Very PC general blanket answer, just like a CEO should do. And then she comes out, writes this article saying that, you know, the male toxic demographic of Star Wars always having problems with the female fans because they're sexist and this, that, and the other. So I read it. It was brought to my attention. And I said, all right, let me hit this chick up. So I hit her up on Twitter. I said, "Hey, you want to come on the show and talk?" She goes, what do you want to talk about? I said, "Yeah, article in Star Wars, just in general." She goes, "Well, what about it?" And I'm like, "Listen, I'm not here to witch hunt you. I'm just going to have a discussion, a civil discussion about Star Wars and your point of view. That's it." She goes, "All right, cool." So she came on last night, and Doc was on the show with myself, and we were very professional, very civil. We didn't want to look like we were ganging up on her. We didn't curse. We didn't chastise her for her opinions. We let her speak her mind. We saw her point of view on certain matters, and she does have a certain valid point of view. But the way she handles certain things, I called her out on it, and she seems like a very nice person, someone that I can talk to at a bar about Star Wars over a drink or whatever. But then I told her, I said, "You know, the person that you really are and the person who wrote this article, it's two different people. So you're kind of playing a gimmick here."
Well, she's working her gimmick for clicks. That's what she's got to do on marysue.com.
So, I didn't hold back, but, I was very calm, very collected, and very, professional, which I wanted to do. So we're going to drop the episode whenever it drops tonight, tomorrow, whenever it's ready. And, that's basically it. Unfortunately, for mostly our episodes run about an hour and a half, 2 hours. For the NFO, this ran 3 hours because we got into deep dive politics, and because she was far left liberal, and obviously I'm more in the middle conservative, and a lot of things she said I had to just say, "Hey, hold on a second there, AB3, XYZ, and this is why," and I just presented my case and whatever. I mean, she presented her case, and we had a very cordial debate.
Yeah, you don't have to agree on everything, but at least you had the platform to talk about it. And some people might have their eyes open a different way, man. But at the end of the day, you're all fans of the same thing. So, I mean, I don't know if you went into it, but Leia is one of the most empowered women characters of all time. So,
and it's funny because now being a big geek, comic book geek, sci-fi, Star Wars geek, this week is very big. I think tonight at 3 a.m. or whatever, Snyder Cut comes out, right, for Justice League on HBO Max.
Yep.
And tomorrow is the first episode of on Friday. It's the first episode of Winter Soldier, right? Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. So it's a big week for us geeks. I was joking around after
in China that they re-released Avatar, and it made it overtook Endgame again because of just the China release alone of Avatar over the weekend.
So we were making a joke that maybe we'll have Spiro, because Spiro wasn't present yesterday. We'll do the Spiro Antonopoulos cut of the interview and have him go fucking gangbusters on her every time she answers. It'll probably be like 10 minutes long, but whatever.
Well, that's where that part of the show's for, man. But I'm proud of you for giving the platform and having open discussion there, dude. Good work. ProWrestlingTees.com/GreekGodPapadon, you guys. I don't think we're booked out to go any place right now as far as that goes, but it seems like shows are coming back, so I'm sure you'll see GGP and I announcing some dates here next quarter, hopefully. So anything else I'm missing on there, bud? No, Big Sally.
Fuck the New York Rangers.
The Sabres having a tough run right now too, man. Sure. But we're not having a tough one. I was glad tonight we could get back to having some fun here on the Conspiracy Horsemen, you guys. Thanks to all our espionage spies all across the globe sending us all the civil liberties that are being infringed upon. You guys know where it is for the real talk and the real thought. Always prowrestlingtees.com/all of us. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting us, joining Hameen Media Group, Stevie Richards Fitness, and following us all on all of our social media platforms. It's tax season, Stevie. Get back to work, infidels. Y'all, y'all. It's the Conspiracy Horsemen, infidels.